So, what did Ireland do differently to break down England on Saturday? I'm StattoJoe, you're elected for watching this video, and today I'm going to be looking at what Ireland did exactly against England to beat them so impressively 32-18. And actually, what you're going to see is that the nature of the result, you could maybe even say, wasn't down to what Ireland did, what England did poorly. Now, Ireland played exceptionally well. I'm not taking anything away from Ireland's performance whatsoever. They played some excellent rugby, some really intelligent stuff, but it was England's discipline that really let them down. If you're new to the channel and you love your sports and you love the stats behind them, then this is the place for you. Subscribe if you're new, give this video a thumbs up, say hi in the comments. Would love to hear from you. But I'm just going to sort of chat a wee bit about the game, but bit about the rugby, see what's going on, and yeah, let's just look. Let's just see what all was there. Um, really even. You see possession, territory, a really even game in terms of the stats and that side of things. And it's what these teams did with the ball that makes a difference. You can see that Ireland didn't really spend a lot of time in England's 22, but they scored two quick tries. I think that's the other thing I need to note is both teams scored two tries, but Ireland scored loads of penalties. I don't even know how many it was. But it was England, because of England's discipline, that allowed Ireland to get those penalties. You know, in time and opposition half, pretty much the same. It's just very similar. Style of play was similar too. You know, they both kicked a relatively even amount of the ball, and Ireland actually had more handling errors and things than England did, and that can contribute to um, some poor play. But I think what's really interesting is the ruck recycle speed. Ireland have really stepped up the pace the last couple of weeks, or they had done. You know, they're 65% between 0 and 3 seconds. I believe they said in commentary that Ireland have the quickest recycle speed in the Six Nations so far. So um, a lot of the issues I had with their play comes from the lack of creativity, but they're quick. You know, ruck recycle speed, for those who don't know, is the time in which the ball leaves a ruck from when the ruck is formed. So whenever someone's tackled and you see the players over the ball, it's how quickly they get the ball out and play on. That's what ruck recycle speed is. You can see again Ireland missing some tackles. You know, obviously Andy Farrell sort of slated James Lowe for that, but Stockdale came in. I thought he played quite well, pretty solidly. But I think really what's really important in this game, first of all, Johnny Sexton with 100% kick a goal, that's what you want. But I think interestingly, it's more even here than I thought. But I think what's important is where the penalties were given away, and I think whenever you're giving away penalties in your own half, that's whenever it becomes a problem. No, they don't have a stat for that. I wonder if they did, but you know, whenever you're allowing points to be scored, which is what England did. That's why, Ireland scored penalties. You know, they scored loads of penalties, got loads of points from that. And I think that the problem, that is kind of what won Ireland the game. Now, Ireland played a lot better than they had done previously. England didn't play as well as they did against France. So I think that balances out, But I think even whenever Bundyaki got sent off, Ireland still played really well. I actually thought they were the better team at that stage also. And so really for me, it came down to a complete lack of discipline on England's front. Uh, Ireland weren't great with their discipline either, although they gave away a lot of penalties towards the end when they were down a man, and I think really that's contributory to this number. Um, but yeah, I think in general, that's kind of where the game was won or lost. Um, Fascinating game of rugby, it really was, and I think Ireland played for CJ Stander, and I think that was noticeable. Let's have a flick through some of the highlights. Let's see kind of where the game was kind of won or lost, like some of the plays that we had. So Ireland's first try was fantastic. Came from a line out. And you can see just the line break there from Keith Earls, and that's just a bit of individual brilliance, really. Um, they talked about in in commentary, which I think was really, really interesting. They mentioned that um, out of the last 200 tries that Ireland have scored, um, over 50% of them came from lineouts. And that's been a real strength of Ireland's. I think Rob Herring has done a really good job. But both of them have. Both hookers have done really well. Rory Best isn't a player that you can replace. He's not a replaceable player. He's not someone that you would ever think someone could fill in those shoes. But Rob Herring's done a really solid job, and Ireland's line out in the Six Nations has been really, really solid. And I think a try like this kind of shows an area of not only just the brilliant individual play of Keith Earls, but also the solidness of the line out and the structure. Part of me feels like this was a training ground move, but that's speculation on my part. I don't take that as gospel. That's not an official take. Again, in this play, a lot of phases. You can see 18 phases. You know, Ireland playing some really good, quick rugby again, which isn't something we've seen a lot of in the Six Nations. They have free plays. They've got the advantage. But really, really great move here from Stockdale to cut back inside because he keeps going. He gets tackled out and loses the ball. He brings the ball inside. It allows the play to carry on. And Ireland were quick. You can see how quick the ball's coming out. The rucks is being recycled. People aren't afraid to carry into tackles. It's just some really great play and some really clever thinking there from Byrne. And they were Ireland's 2 tries. Ireland didn't score another try in the rest of the game, which is interesting considering the scoreline. England's 2 tries came in the last 15 minutes. But I think what we're seeing in this game is look at that from Furlong. There's there's your tight head prop. Maybe not your tight head, your loose head, one of the two. And he's played some fantastic rugby like that. It's just incredible stuff. So overall, a really encouraging performance from Ireland. Something they can take. I think a lot of the Ireland players have played their way into the Lions squad. Obviously, there's still some of the domestic season to go, so we'll see how that plays out. But some of them have put their name in the hat for sure. And yeah, they were just my thoughts. I was delighted, obviously. Couldn't believe it myself. You just love to see it. You love to see it. Great win overall. First Ireland win over England in 3 years. And what were your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. I'd really love to hear from you. We'll do an overall roundup after the France-Scotland game on Friday. We'll have a chat, a deep discussion about Six Nations. Then we can on Saturday maybe with international football on. There isn't the same amount of football, so we can have a chat on Saturday about the game. But there are my thoughts. And if you already new to the channel, as I said earlier, hit the subscribe button, give this video a big fat thumbs up, and let me know in the comments your thoughts on the game. And I'll see you again later on this week, I'm sure.